Hey folks, how are we? Ooh, I've got to move my webcam. The chat is overlaid on it. Jeez. Alright, sorry about that. As you guys can probably tell, today is a little bit of a tech demo. We're trying out the new stream overlay, we're trying out the new DSLR, which I can run in perpetuity. Trying to get all this stuff locked down for the 3-hour event that I'm going to do with William from Sim Racing Paddock, who's actually in the chat here today. How you guys doing? Hey guys, welcome. This chat box is ruining my life. Give me a sec. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Alright, should be better. Thanks, Hub City. How you doing? Alright, with any luck, ACC should start showing up for you guys. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to warm up a little bit in the 488, the new Evo. My new favorite car, of course, in ACC, right? I'm going to warm up in this, going to get the tire temperatures right for the track. Then I'm going to load up some AI, and we're going to see, I guess, what the new AI is like and how the new physics are. Now, just a heads up ahead of time, I have actually tuned the dampers on this thing with Motec yesterday. I had a really quick run, spent about an hour on the track. Love the track, absolutely beautiful, probably the best version of Imola I've ever driven in sim racing. And the car is super, super fun, because you guys already know how I feel about the 488. There's going to be a lot more Ferrari Canadian Safer, man. William and I have got the 3 hours of Spa coming up in R Factor 2 very, very soon. And we're going to be in the 488 GTE, so you're going to be seeing a lot more practice streams of me driving the heck out of the Ferrari. Sounds good, William. We'll definitely run some laps. Alright, let's get into this. Man, the new Fanatec handbrake, all it's done so far is obscure the chat, so I can't actually see what you guys are saying. It's so frustrating. Anyway, I think, because this is going to be single player, I can stop every so often and, you know, chat back to you guys. Alright, I really let these get low, so we're gonna have to really just snail pace the first lap. And one thing I might do is just turn it up for myself to get into the vibe. That'll do. Alright, let me know how it goes, let me know how the levels are. One of the other things I'm testing out is a new microphone processing chain in relation to the game. So let me know if I'm loud enough, if the game's loud enough, you know, all that fun stuff. Gotta stay away from the curbs until these tires get up. Sorry, Lyric. It's definitely not 2 in the morning here. It's early Saturday afternoon, and I have nothing better to do with my day. So here we are, trying to warm up a Ferrari's tires, rather, without spinning out or destroying something on the car for the first lap. Really loving this track. Really great job by Kunos. The car is super fun and pivoty, as the Ferrari always is. Still doesn't like sausage curbs though. Hey Carlos, how you doing? I don't know why everything would be out of focus, Thomas. when you say everything, you might have to give me a bit more information. The game, just my camera, because on my thing here, it looks absolutely fine. If anybody else is having focus issues, please do tell me. Thanks, guys. I'm glad the sound is fine. I actually spent a little while recreating my quote-unquote pro audio chain on the microphone. It's still not warm. I love how long it takes to warm up tires in this game. Definitely a lot more realistic than R-Factor, I would say, in that regard. I love those Italian flag curbs, man. Only in that place. Can't go aggressive on the curbs. You really have to go over the anti-cut sometimes, guys, in order to get the time. I was really worried that I was sucking at this, and I mean, I'm not particularly great at ACC, but I was watching David Perel doing his first few laps on the live stream, and I was getting similar times, at least at the very beginning. I'm sure he's completely smoking me now, but I don't feel quite so bad about driving this thing here. Gotta say, I'm finding it kind of hard to read the chat and drive at the same time. It's the ongoing issue with the streams. I've got to get the chat large enough that my old, aged eyes can actually see what you guys are saying. .138.8. Wow, William, that's really impressive. That is like quite a few seconds ahead of me. I don't think I've ever seen anyone go that quickly here in a GT3 car. Though I appreciate you trolling.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Alright, we're still not warm yet. We're still not warm. That's what I love about Imola, such a short track. You gotta do like 3 or 4 laps to get the tires up there. Part of the reason I'm doing a couple of laps here in free practice is just to see... Actually, I just realized I didn't load my setup. Jeez. That's a pro mistake, guys. Don't talk to your race engineer. Alright, the mighty base setup. 143.8 sounds a lot more right to me, mate. Jeez. It's like, but you gotta keep track of your sims and the cars and the tracks, you know? So sometimes the times become interchangeable to you. I sometimes get this confused with Spa and it's like, I think I did a 120 something. Alright, before the tires get completely cold again. I was told that the AMG might be slightly better here, but unfortunately I don't have it tuned yet. But, you know. Actually, again, more pro mistakes. I've got fuel level low because I've got this set up for hot lapping. Alright, that should do us. I'm glad the game looks good, guys. I mean, ACC is kind of the go-to for PC sims in terms of graphics now, I think. Unless we're counting the Simcade titles as well. I'm sure there's a few good-looking ones with Corsa. Hey, back from Australia. Hey, Rick. Alright, gotta warm these up again, but they're nowhere near as cold as they were the first time. So I'm guessing that my temps are gonna be too hot because they're set up for hot lapping, where after every lap your tire temps reset. Oh man, I made this so much more pivoty than the default setup, guys. I just made it turn in like crazy. Love it. I'm starting to become a maniac like Jardier, but with only 1/8 of the skill, if that. One thing I like about the new physics in ACC, the new tire model, the aero, is that you're able to really feel the car a bit more at the low speed and the mid-speed corners. You're able to kind of pivot the car on throttle a lot more as well. Something that once upon a time, you just couldn't do. I might have to drop it down to second for that one in the future. Oh man. Woo! My setup is way more oversteery than the stock one. Alright, I gotta get used to this. It's gonna be a bit dangerous down there. Might set the brake bias a little bit more forward. It's funny how a couple of setup adjustments can change the entire feel of a car. And I didn't realize I made it this oversteery, but that's awesome. Hey, Matthias. Alright, tires are almost up to temp, but I've still got maybe... There's about a PSI missing on the rears right now. Maybe half a PSI missing on the fronts. We'll see how it feels. It's probably not going to go great. I apologize for any spins. Woo! Does not like anti-cut, this game. Alright, less aggressive on the curbing. It takes the ripple strips pretty easily though. I'm curious how you'd go with the Camaro in here. I think it'd completely monster this track. You just go over the sausage curbs. The chicane wouldn't even be a chicane, just like a straight line. Alright, car's a bit more stable through there now. Still probably not quite stable enough for me personally. Oh man, seriously? One thing I really struggle with in this title is feeling out the brake. Especially on that complex. So anyway, yesterday I was in the low 142 range. I want to get the car back up there. I want to do that on a fairly regular basis if I can for today. And then we're going to try against some AI and see how they go, once I feel like the setup is locked in and nice and solid for us. Alright, here we go. Cool, it's a little bit more stable now. It's the problem with the Ferrari, you're trying to gain stability much of the time. Tire temps aren't bad actually, they're not terrible. I may have to go maybe up a little bit, but I am enjoying the grip right now. Alright, this is usually where it spins on me. Okay, not terrible. I lost a lot of time from going slow, but... you go off once and it's like, it shakes your confidence. You can't push as hard as you used to. Nah, William. Fast in, fast out, fast through, fast everywhere. Always max, on the limit, everything. Cool, so we're getting into mediocre times now. We're gonna keep going. See where it takes us. Just gonna hit the pause button because I'm an absolute pleb and check the chat briefly. Yes, Robin, I do love Spa and R-Factor as much as you do. I assume you love it a lot. I don't know what a double espresso setup is, but I did just have a double espresso, so good catch. Chris, I normally have all the HUD off, but I figured that people would feel more confident if I had it on, because I know that most streamers drive with it on, so I had to just kind of manipulate everything around and, you know, I don't know. I far prefer the immersion of having nothing other than the, you know, the car's HUD. Yes, Victor, I think I made it handle a little bit more like AMS. I think what I probably need to do is bring the rear of the car down, is my guess, and manipulate possibly the bump stops, I think, to make the car a little bit more aerodynamically stable. Maybe even just the brake bias, so it shouldn't be anything crazy. I've just got to get the pressures right. So let's get back into it, see if we can get into the 142s with this fuel load, and I'll be pretty happy with that, and we can move on to the AI. Hey Charles, how you doing? Yeah, Akshaw, it's nice to finally review it. I meant to get to it basically as it came out, but it came out as I was making my R Factor 2 Spa video, and that had to take precedence. I'd already agreed to do it, and it was an actual feature. Unfortunately, I wasn't involved in the preview event for this, so everybody else got a few days heads up on reviewing this. I figured most people would be pretty sick of this by now, so, you know, it is what it is. Welcome, Planks.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Alright, let's make Italy proud, he says as he spins into T1. I've definitely made it a lot more pivoty. I like it, it's spirited. It may shoot me out on that midsection, but we'll see. I don't know about going down to second there. I saw Perel doing it. It kind of destabilizes the car. And I don't know about going down to first here either. I feel like it's not really helping me much. Might go back to my own gearing. Alright, so I'm losing all that time in the two sections. I've adopted different gearing. I need to just get the car stable so I can push hard. I think that's the key. Also, probably need the tire pressures up by about, I don't know, 0.3, 0.4, possibly. You can try that. Nope, that's not the one. That's not the line you're looking for. You can really pivot the car around that hairpin on power. It's really cool. It's very similar to how you drive an R Factor. Alright, third. Let's try this. I mean, I'm gaining a minuscule amount of time. That's something. Stay in second. There we go. Who'd have thought Ehrman's gearing works better for Ehrman? Now to put it all together for a highly mediocre time in the 142s. Out of the gravel trap like an absolute pro. Not really. That's a shame. I think with all this put together, I can probably do 142s with this setup, but the tires probably still need a bit of adjusting. Alright, one more lap, then I'm going to check the chat. It's all about building confidence in Imola, guys. Oh yeah, it's starting to come together now. No, so close. I've gotten used to abusing track limits doing the online events. You usually get a few. See, that would have been in the mid 142s, so that's all right, we're getting there. Time to mount some sausages. Woo! All right, we're getting to the low 142s, which is where I left this at yesterday, so that's not too bad. The main problem with the Ferrari is that you have to really be aware on the anti-cut and the curbs and the sausages. Whereas in some other sims that I feature quite often, they're far more forgiving. Now, which one's more accurate? I don't know. You'd have to ask someone like Dave Perel. I certainly prefer the more forgiving behavior personally, but hey, they both have their draw cards, I think. Anyways, quick chat check. Hey guys, B-Sim Racing, Aardvark. That's interesting, Smurfenstein. You prefer AMS2 to ACC. I mean, that's the great thing about sim racing right now. It's got different strokes for different folks. They're two very different sims. They drive very differently to one another. I really like ACC where it's at this point in time. Each update incrementally brings it a little bit closer to where I want it to be. You know, just a little bit more communicative, drive it more on the limit. Indeed, Chris, got to mount all the sausages. It's the hyper-masculine way to drive. Or not. Hey, Alejandro. Alright, back into it. Let's do this. I just need to gain a bit more confidence in that middle section. The setup really threw me the first time. I made it hyper-oversteery, Jardier-esque. It's very hot lap-esque. I don't know if I'm going to survive a whole race with it. I would like to spend some time talking about how the new update feels on the Ferrari and at low speed as well. It's very interesting. It's very subtle. It's not like a revolution. But it's enough to really get some goodies. The biggest thing with the Ferrari is getting the confidence to get over those sausages, because it's the difference between gaining like 0.2 a corner and just completely flying off the track. Trying to get the car to pivot mid-corner so I can really kind of rotate it around. Unfortunately, the lap times aren't reflecting what I want to be doing right now. We should be in the low 142s, but we'll see what we can do. I might need to bump up the tyre pressures based on what I'm looking at here. This game is much more sensitive to tyre pressures than it even used to be, which was quite a lot already. Nah, too much on the throttle, Ermin. Still trying to get the throttle balance right through there. Ah, so close. Yet not close enough. All right, let's try and change those tire pressures while we're here. Might bump them by 3 or 4, 0.3 or 4. Gonna drop the rear ride height to hopefully make the car a little bit more stable when I'm off power. So in that middle section where you're really going downhill and coming back up, it feels like it's gonna go on me at any point. Olaf, can you catch it at the limit easier now? I mean, if you're at the limit at low speed, yes, it's a little more communicative. At high speeds, at mid-speed corners, if you lose it, it still has that kind of slight nebulous effect where you kind of seesawing at the wheel trying to get it to catch again. But it's just getting better. Each update, they're making it better and better and better, and it's more communicative and more fun to drive. Dead Last Dad, you're very welcome. Any more copies of R-Factor 2 I can shift to people, it makes me very happy. Not because people have this like impression that I'm paid off by $3.97 or something. Not at all. I mean, I'm very lucky to be in touch with the developers now after all the features that I did on the game, but I've loved it for so many years. Ever since I first played it, ever since I first drove Sebring, I've just absolutely loved it. So I'm glad that we can share in some of that kind of passion. Yeah, Rick, ACC is a bit numb with the T500 RS. It's the wheel that I played it with originally, and I had no end of troubles. One of the ongoing motifs of the channel is that I keep saying that the more money I spend, the more I get out of ACC. So it really benefits from the details that you get from a direct drive wheel, from load cell pedals and all that fun stuff. So it's one of those ones that'll grow with you if you want to invest more into the hobby. Alright, let's get back into it. We're going to warm up these new tyres. I want to be in the low 142s before I get into the AI. I haven't tested the new AI yet. I know that a lot of you guys want to see what that's like. Me too. I've not actually done a race here, so it should be fun. Oh, them tyre pressures though. Man, it's going to take a few laps to warm this up. Scary. Oh man, it's like oversteer and understeer all at the same time. Don't go over the curb. Don't go fast. Don't go fast. Don't go fast. Nice and easy. Oh, you can see where I slid out before. Awesome. So one of the unfortunate things about this title is I was watching Aris's live stream of the new content, which was super awesome. He was just gaining subscribers by the second. It was crazy. But he was talking about how real road is not possible with this engine, strangely. I don't really know why, but that's a shame. Welcome, TKR. Pass through there, maybe go to second, maybe go to first if I want more stability. Car's reasonably stable through there now. See, that's a section where you really have to get the setup right. Contrary to what people tell you about skill, I mean, sure, skill is a part of all of this, but there are points in a track where a setup is everything. It'll make all the difference between you completely spinning out or just absolutely munching a corner and gaining about a second. Timothy, welcome. How's about that animation when people guys, you're too nice. Maybe I should mention that more often in the streams. Like, guys, Aris and Jardier got so many more subscribers than me. So many more subscribers on that stream that I wasn't a part of. Feel sorry for me, guys. Hit the sub button, please. No, but seriously, welcome to the channel, guys. It's great to see you. Alright, we're still warming up the tires ever so slightly. Car's getting more and more stable. I'm liking it. I really like the emphasis on over and under pressuring tires. So one thing they tried to overcome in the new update is one of the hacks the aliens were doing where they basically overpressurized the tires, got over the rolling resistance, and then used high rear aero to overcome, you know, the negatives of that. Maybe going down second there is the key. I'm still trying to find the limit there. I'm trying to see how fast I can push it through that complex. Might be a matter of having to down gear for stability though, especially in a race. Rockers. Alright, starting to get the stability, if not the times. Alright, so let's try and actually push for a semi-reasonable lap, at least my equivalent of one. I can't seem to get the tire pressures in the right range for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Push, push, push. Pretend the guys from Butler Pal Motorsports are just lording over me, telling me to push. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the setup adjustment I made may have actually slowed the car down. Gotta love it when that happens, right? Stay in third. Pretend it's R factor and you get more speed by staying in higher gears. Yeah, whenever I drop to first here, I feel like I get slower. I don't know. I don't think Pirelli's gearing works for me. Gotta half mount the sausage. I feel like it should be a little quicker than it is. No, got on the power too early. Fractionally. ACC is still such a stickler for getting on the power just after the apex. You just can't do it before. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not feeling that time. Should be about a second quicker based on where I am. Alright. Oh man. Gotta really watch out with the anti-cut. The 488 does not like it. Got a slightly better exit there at least. Okay, dropping to second there might be the go. Yeah, you struggle to get the grunt to leave in second out of that complex. I wish I had a more sausage mounty car, you know? I really love to just go over those things. Like the last chicane at Le Mans in R Factor, oh man, so good. Just straight over, like it doesn't even exist. Oh man, I lost way too much time at the end there. I gotta really clean up my lines a bit. Yeah. TC kicking in too much. Cool, we'll drop it down to 3, see how that goes. Well, so far so good. Wow, 1 point of TC made that much difference. 3/10 in the first sector. Oh, too early, too early. feel like over-mounting that rumble strip isn't helping me very much. We're crawling our way down there. See you, Rick. Thanks for joining us. So Norman, it's going to be an AI sandbox thing. That's after I feel like the car's in a good spot, after I get it into the, let's say, low 142s quite regularly, we'll do a little lap, a little race rather, against the field of AI and see how we go.
The fastest lap so far.
That is most certainly not my fastest lap so far, but thank you. I may have made the setup a little too slidey. I might be losing time with the sliding. You know, just a little bit. Yeah. I feel like I need a more stable platform. No. No. These are not the droids you're looking for, Omen. No. No, 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 no. Alright. So that's how you overdrive in a game. Anyhow, getting past all that stuff, the Ferrari feels very familiar. Pretty much like everybody else has said, the Evo feels very much like the old one. I mean, if I were to tell you about the differences, I would have to basically drive them back to back in order for them to become apparent at all. You got to bear in mind there is a new time model going into this as well. We're currently driving on the 2020 Pirelli. So I can't really tell much of a difference there either, but I'm told that it should have more consistent pressures and more consistent wear over time, which is always good when you're endurance racing, right? Less anti-cut and less sliding, Omen. Let's try that. It's a really bizarre one. I'm not sure I'm losing as much time as I am. Well, probably through the drifting, the high-speed drifting. And the line there being completely off. Just can't quite connect it in the car at the moment. Still kind of burning away time from sliding around too much. I'm guessing this is where you're saying not to downshift, but the thing is I'll overshoot or slide based on how the car's set up. That's one of the ongoing problems. I have trouble catching the tail down there if I go in full speed. So I know full well you can come in quicker, but it's a bit problematic after. I feel like before I changed the setup it was all going a little bit better. So I think maybe the car needs slightly lower tire pressures to operate here. It's usually a good way to test setups, just kind of see the way it goes. I might go back to the old one, and I may, at the same time, do a race if I just check what our fuel consumption is. Yeah, 2.9 per lap, so let's say about 3 liters per lap. Cool. Hey, Tortellini, you can tell me how much I suck, man. How you doing? I'm not driving for a little while, so you can't critique me. That's what I'm up to. No, to anyone that's just joined us, we're setting up an AI race to test out both the new physics, the new Ferrari, Imola, and the new AI routines that they've put into the game, so I'm really keen. I was kind of hoping that I could do it per lap rather than for time. Haven't got the fuel calculator out, but if we do like 15, it'd be 10-ish laps, maybe? On Imola? Less? Less? Maybe? Gonna lower the opponent count so the stream doesn't crash. Does anyone want to get the fuel calculator out and calculate how much this is going to need? So I think I was doing about 2.9 liters a lap at Imola, and we're going to be racing for about 15 minutes. So, you know, do the work for me, guys, please. I'm too stupid. Mr. Chong, video settings are basically just max. I feel like this should be about right. 25 liters, you say? Let's do 28 just to be safe. Cool, thank you guys, I appreciate it. You know what? I will just do 28 or 29 just to be safe. We do have the little formation, well, half formation lap thing that ACC does as well, so. Let's see how hard the AI butchers me. I'm keen. Norman, does it rival the R Factor 2 tire model? I mean, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I am who I am. I prefer the R Factor 1 in terms of overall feel and the response of the tire. It's still not a physical model, this one, but it's definitely an incremental improvement to what they had. So once again, ACC constantly improving with each update. It's definitely better than it was. But in terms of whether or not I prefer its R Factors, I don't at present. But I kind of prefer everything else. I prefer the plantedness of the cars, the systems emulations, you know, the setups, pretty much everything else is in a better state, the graphics and sounds notwithstanding, right?
Stay double file.
It's a good idea. Engine map 12 for the formation lap. Don't have to worry about burning through the fuel load. Alright. So for the most part, I think I'm going to try and shut up for this, just focus on the race and let the AI speak for themselves. So this is the first time I'm trying the new AI. That's the first time I'm actually trying the new physics in a race at all, so curious how it goes. I'm wondering if slipstream will become more of a thing. I'm excited! I don't even know where the start line is yet, so this is going to be great. We're going to have the worst start in history. Come on. Every race is won at T1, right? Got to get the run on these guys.
Go, go, go.
Pretend you're James Baldwin in the wrong car.
Left. Clear on the left.
Alright, into T1 with cold everything. Always
Clear on
fun.
the left.
AI is definitely stacking up a bit.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
Hopefully they space out a bit over the course of the next couple of laps.
Clear on the left.
They've definitely got a bit of that first lap itis going on. They're kind of
Car
overslowing.
on the left. Clear on the left.
My setup is so drifty, guys. It's great. It's going to be super fun, especially through here where I nearly die. Oh man, they overslow. Oh man, they overslow. Alright. See, being a guy that hasn't driven Imola very much at all, I don't know where the main overtaking zones actually normally are. So we're just going to take it nice and easy, follow the train, pretend that we're a bronze driver, and that's team orders. But so far so good. They've formed a nice little train. It's kind of what you expect from the AI. They're not doing anything too crazy, no erratic jinking like AMS2, you know?
Car on the right.
Oh yeah, I guess that's one of the overtaking zones.
Clear on the right.
Alright, let's see how the slipstream is. I think the Lambo got a slightly better run out of that corner than I did. Thanks, Tortellini. I'll take your word for that. When in doubt, flat out. When you no longer take a gap, you're no longer a race driver, etc., etc., all the cliches from the greats of old. Alright, let's do this. Let's pretend we're racing. Flashes on, baby. Nah, it's gonna go badly. It's gonna go so badly. Oh, oh, he came in and cut me off. I like it. I like it. Nice. Can almost treat these guys like people. That is great. In AMS2, I'd have just been punted into oblivion then. Alright, will they let me stay in fourth for this? I'm very curious. They really slow down for this section. If I was insane, I'd try and move here. Oh, you didn't see that. You didn't see anything. Nothing happened then. Yeah, see, both cars received a safety rating penalty, not just me, it's fine. That was totally just a race incident. Alright, come on, slipstream. What's up, Smurf? You didn't see nothing, man. You didn't see a thing.
Well done, mate. That's the best.
That guy was too slow. It was entirely his own fault. That was a love tap. That wasn't a punt. Oh yeah, over the anti-cut the way I like it. If you actually line it up, you can go over the anti-cut on some of these. Hey, Alexis. You shouldn't be too hard. Famous last words. I'm enjoying it a lot more in the race, guys. I'm having a lot of fun.
Car on the right.
The Ricardo dive on the inside. Or more like Fiat. No, don't.
Clear on the right. Got some light damage on the front.
Okay,
of the
so the AI still pit maneuver you guys. I'm sorry to say. I'm actually kind of curious. I'm going to run a little replay there because I've had this happen to me before a couple of times. So I was trying to move left to give him more space, but I think he was just programmed to not go off the road completely. So I think... Yep. So that was me trying desperately to turn left there. That's so good. Alright, back to it. I guess it is calmer in a way, right? I have had this happen to me in ACC a couple of times though. I actually have a gag reel of the amount of times it's happened. The AI is very keen on doing that.
On the left.
Was this the guy that I spun? This is great. Duking it out at the back of the field. Welcome one and all. Alright, let's use that slipstream, see if we can make a move on this guy again and avoid any more Punterino action. Slipstream's not particularly powerful, either that or the Ferrari isn't too great on the straights. Oh, we're getting there. It's just not quite enough space.
Car on the left.
No!
Clear on the left.
This AI is not very kind, is it? AI settings, I think, are strength at like 96 and aggression at 50%, give or take. I mean, he's doing a good enough job of blocking me. It's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. I just almost wish this was like a GTE emulation, just to have a little bit more torque out of the corners, just to be able to actually get him on the exits.
Car on the right.
Oh man, that was a full lockup.
Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Having my own little race with this guy right at the back of the field. Alright, let's see if we can actually make up some time now that we're past him. See how close we can get to the rest of the field. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I prefer staying in the higher gear there. I don't find first really helps me. Half sausage mount, half sausage mount. Oh man. And suddenly the lap time improves immensely with the AI not in front. Alright, we're in the 142s again. That's not terrible. Not great, but it's not terrible either.
Fastest lap of the race. Great job, man.
Of the race, I've probably set the AI, pardon me, too low. I think that's the problem. So I think they were just holding up the race because they were a little bit too slow. Because if I'm the guy doing the fastest lap of the race, we have problems. So I've got to say, the way the car handles the ripple strips is more similar to AMS than it is R-Factor. In R-Factor, it wants to pull the car out wide. They're really savage. I'm not really sure which is more realistic, given that R-Factors runs at 2400 cycles. I'll try and drop the TC by 1 point, at least the TC1. Welcome, Harry. How you going? Welcome one and all. Thank you for joining us on the stream. I'm going to be doing a lot more content like this in the future, but a lot more, I would say, in the near future on R-Factor, because I will be preparing for the 3-hour semi-endurance race at Spa with my friend William from Sim Racing Paddock. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Alright, let's try and pretend that we can actually do a decent lap. Cool. Less cool. Was trying to go for the exit more so than the corner itself, but I don't know if it worked. I don't think it worked. I really got to use the runoff all the way to the right there. I don't know what I'm doing. The AI, like most AI, really tends to overslow for the chicane. It doesn't seem to compute that it can just kind of half cut the curbs. Trying to get the exit speed. Yes! My fellow Ferrari! My fellow Sky Sports Ferrari!
Clear on the right. Clear on the right.
No! No! Not cool! Not cool!
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Come on, I gave him enough space there, right? Oh god. Alright, we're back in the mix, kinda. I really love that you can slide the car on the power now. I've still got to get that balance right between the TC and the rear damper to really get the car sliding around just enough. Currently probably slides too much. Not over the yellow. Not over the yellow, Emin. Masticating all the track limits since 1987. Thanks, Hotelk. This isn't really the guns angle though. I can get it more from the arm direction and then it looks really, really impressive, you know, like fakely. We call it angling in the fitness industry.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give me the final push.
I mean, considering I got punted and caught up to the field again, it's not too bad. So the AI, I mean, they seem very similar to me. If you told me that there were no AI changes at all in this update, I would probably believe that. It's not a big shift, it's not a big change. I still got pit maneuvered. They still kind of train up on lap 1. That doesn't mean they're bad. I think AC and ACC have some of the best AI in all of sim racing. It's just that, like all AI, they also have their drawbacks, you know? The pedals I use are Heusinkveld Sprint Pros. I do like the feel of the Ferrari through here though. Yeah, as you can see, the AI really overslow for those complexes. You're going to see that they're going to overslow for the chicane there as well. That's why I tapped the Lambo at the very beginning of the race. I'm like, why is he so slow?
Car on the right. The leader has finished the race. Clear on the right.
Had to do one last overtake before the end, guys. That's the way it goes, right? That nice Italian smoke grenades going off.
You could take it easy in the lap.
I did do the best that I could. Come on, I got punted, I got back up to 9th. That's pretty good. Could have been worse. Alright, let's see what you guys are talking about. Is the physics update what I expected? Yes, completely. It was an incremental update, nothing revolutionary. The tire model thing wasn't, you know, everything that I was raving on about in that video a couple of days ago. It was just an incremental update. It feels slightly better. Generally at mid-speed, at the limit at mid-speed, that's a little bit more communicative through the force feedback. It's a solid update. Track limits on this track are definitely a bit of a mystery to me, I've got to say, but you know, that's part of racing. I think if you race online and you've actually got a race director, you can probably make do with that a little bit better than offline racing. Dutsky, man, how you doing? It is a bit like Russian roulette. That's a good line, Harry. Nothing in AMS2 is perfect. I would back that 100% right now. Yeah, that is probably one of the truest statements you could possibly make. So the pedals that I use are Heusinkveld Sprint Pedal Pros. They're pretty good. I think I definitely feel the difference more in sims like R-Factor than I do in this one. I feel in this one the systems control things a lot more. TC will kick in, ABS will kick in, it'll kind of save you. Whereas in other sims, the systems don't really aid you quite as much. So they've really come in handy for some of the other titles like BeamNG, R-Factor, and the original AC as well. Yeah, I'm glad some of you guys from like Europe and stuff are joining us so late in the day. I mean, you guys have crazy sleep patterns, right? Alright, so. You know what? I want to try this one more time. I want to do it properly. I want to not get punted. Thank you for calculating the fuel for me, guys. That was about perfect. I might actually drop it back by liter to actually get even quicker lap times. I'll try the TC at 3. I think for the Ferrari that should be about right. Maybe. I'm going to try and drop back the suspension as well. So normally on the old Ferrari, I'd have the bump stop range at 35 on the rear, stops the rear from like bouncing around and swaying around quite so much. It may not be strictly necessary in Imola, so softer suspension, bump stop closer to the suspension, so less travel. Let's see what that does. Let's see if that helps us or hurts us. Yeah, I've really got to disagree that AMS2 delivers better physics than all those titles. I think it's kind of the inverse, to be honest. I think it has the capability of delivering physics as good, if not better than those titles, but currently it does not at all. Actually a really good point. I need to bump up the AI. Alright, so maybe 97 AI, 50 aggression. Start a little bit closer to the midfield this time. Sergeant Wombat, welcome back. Thank you very much for the $5, man. Hope you're having a good Saturday afternoon. I bet you guys are jealous, aren't you? Those of you who are like from Argentina or, you know, the US or Europe, you're there at like 3 a.m. or something. We're just enjoying a nice casual weekend afternoon. Okay, so I think, no, just load the setup. Alright, should do it. I just remember to set the engine map back. Well, Marky, given that the AI already spun me out at 50 aggression, I feel like more is probably not going to be a good move. They have a thing for pit maneuvering, and I just want to finish the race without spinning. That'd be ideal. So as before, I'm going to try and let the AI mostly speak for themselves. I'm trying a slightly different setup here, softer suspension, slightly less suspension travel on the rear. I'm hoping this will both stabilize the car and let it handle the bumps better. So maybe I can go over those sausages. My favorite thing, riding sausage. 4 a.m., you're a trooper, man. Really appreciate you guys being with us that late in the day. Yeah, Friday night. I was thinking that would probably lower the view count of the stream quite a lot. Alright, oh, damn it. I never get the run. I mean, I kind of got the run. Oh god, no, don't sandwich me. Alright, first lap AI is a little bit, you know, AI-ish. Overslowing. Alright, cold tire overtakes, 101.
Car on the left.
Here we go.
Clear on the left.
Just freak this guy out, start flashing him. Oh my god!
Car on the
Oh
left.
man!
Clear on
Oh
the
man!
left.
The way the car responds to anti-cut sometimes is insane. Woo! So, if you get it on the actual tire, you can go over that with no problems, gain a ton of time. But if you catch any part of the chassis, you just get launched in the air. It's crazy. Hopefully that didn't do too much damage to the car. That'd be ideal. Whoop. keep thinking I'm driving an R Factor when it comes to the anti-cut. In RF2, you just like fly over it. You kind of use it to turn the car in. Definitely a lot more finicky here. It's cool, it has its own charm. Definitely has its own charm. But you just have to be a lot more careful with track limits and car limits. I feel like I made the car more and not less oversteery based on the setup changes, so, you know, we'll see how we go. Alright, come on. Get that and go. I guess I was overly optimistic about what softer suspension would do for my ability to get over curbs. See, you can, if you just slightly grab it, it's totally fine. The dirty air effect is totally real. I'm having so much trouble trying to overtake. The dirty air is just kind of pushing me out wide. Can't put the downforce down. So that's very cool. I seem to really struggle on the corner exits. So while I can catch them, I can't quite overtake so easily. Oh man. I mean, Imola is a fairly tight track, so I might have to save it for the final straight, try and get a good exit through there, hope for the best. Oh man. That dirty air was just messing me up mid-corner. It was great. So I'm definitely not going to catch him. I seem to have a bit of a problem on the straights in this car. It just lacks a bit of the grunt.
Well done, mate. First and fastest lap.
Not much of a lap, mate, but thank you. AI like partially blocking me? That's awesome. Come on, get the run on him. We can do it here, gentlemen. We have to. We have to. It's the only place. It's not going to happen anywhere else.
Car on the right.
Oh, man.
Clear on the right.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. No. It's all right. It was dirty, but the move got made. Yeah, the Ferrari and Imola. I don't know. It may not be a match made in heaven. I struggled to get the zones. It's very fun though, don't get me wrong. Now without this guy blocking me, I can actually get through this area. There we go. Thank you, sir. I'm not sure if the softer suspension actually helped. I think Imola might be like maximum stiffness. As we know, stiffer is always better. Managed to gain so much time without that AMG in front of me, it's hilarious. Give me your sweet, sweet, precious slipstream. Come on. Oh man, but not your dirty air. I don't want your dirty air. Oh man, this is gonna be my point, isn't it? It's my zone.
Clear on the right.
Yep, that's my overtaking turn. Can I dive on this guy? Can I Ricardo him?
Car on the right.
Maybe? Alright, I'm gonna give him tons and tons of space.
Right.
Damn. I tried. No Panzerino. Come on. Hey, blocking the... I like it. Oh my god. No. Oh my god. Yeah, see, I don't like it. I don't like going down there in fourth. It just doesn't make any sense. Going down there in fourth, the car is way too unstable. It's alright, we'll make our way back up. You know, overall I'm enjoying it quite a lot, guys. It's for an update that costs like 12 Australian dollars. Really solid. I'm still not entirely enthralled with the sim, with the behavior on the limit, but that's just been one of its ongoing things, right? It's just part of the physics engine. I'm sure they'll sort it out in time. I mean, they've sorted out everything else, basically. Not even sure about going a second there. I don't know if it's necessary. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh man, that complex in this car just doesn't work for me. I think actually softening the suspension made it worse through there rather than better, so I'm gonna try and not do that in the future and maybe do the chicane properly. It's a shame. We're heading for the podium. Alright, I might try and downshift while I'm not turning next time and just like not destabilize the car like an idiot. I agree, Peregrine. That was definitely user error there. Just trying to find the best time to downshift there, that's all. It's the corner complex that still puzzles me the most out of all of Imola. Sergeant Wombat, thank you so much. I'm loving Imola. It's actually great. I think it's probably the best version of Imola that I've ever driven in sim racing. So. Oh man. She doesn't like being stable through there, I can tell you that. Woof. Man. I'm trying to find the least self-destructive line through that complex. It seems like no matter what I do, it's a bit of a Russian roulette play. Come on, can we get the run for the first time ever? Can the Ferrari actually take anyone on a straight? Come on! Come on, get the end.
Car on the right.
Oh man, just give me some space, please.
Clear on the right.
Yes! I'll take it. Man, this car wants to slide so much. It just wants to. What's funny is that I knew one guy that owned the 488, this is in real life, and I know another one who owned a Pista and both got rid of it, so I don't know. They're hurting my love for this model. I can kind of see why it would be impractical for the road to have a car try and do all this to you. But one of them replaced it with a Huracan Performante. I think the other one went back to McLaren land, which I always wholeheartedly back. Except for the fact that I really suck at the 720S in this game. The Audi. This is the battle of the two unstable platforms. The two mid-engine death machines. Oh man. Come on, just get the run. Just get the run. Get the run! Use all the track. Vitor, thank you so much. I should probably try the new AMG, shouldn't I? The problem is that I haven't motected stampers, so you'll just be seeing me race its like aggressive setup with some minor tweaks. Man, the AI. They'll drive defensively. It's kind of cool.
Clear on the right.
Oh no. Yeah, the curbs do kill this car. They really do. I'll definitely say this now. Ferrari 488 on this track is not for the faint of heart. This is not easy mode. That's for sure.
Car on the right.
The Ricardo dive. Does it come through again? No, it doesn't. No exit.
Right.
No exits. Oh, come on. Just comes right in to block me off. What a douche. You're slowing me down, German. I'm in the land of passion and carbohydrates, man. Get out of my way. That was a love tap, guys. Rubbing is racing. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm fond of the softer suspension, guys. If you get into the Ferrari on this track, I'd recommend cranking it back up. Back to the, what is it? The 170 range for the fronts.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Alright, get the run, Omen. Come on. It struggles so much on the straights, guys. Even with the slipstream, it's just not doing anything. Come on. Come on!
Car on the right.
Can we do it this time? Can we
Clear on
make
the
it
right.
stick? You know what? I'm just gonna cut him off. Alright. We've got one last lap. Hopefully enough fuel to complete it. Oof. She has a particular way about her, this car. Cool, guys. I'll try the AMG next. We'll try it in free practice. I'll get a baseline setup going, and we'll go from there. I haven't actually tried it yet, so you're gonna watch me driving it for the first time. I'm definitely not an AMG guy. My housemate is, though. Oh, God, don't. Oh, man. Oh, man. This car hates that complex of corners. It hates it so much. I feel like no matter what I do, it's somehow wrong.
Leader has finished the race.
Hey runner, how you doing? You've come just in time for the end of the race with the 488. Once again, I managed to spin it, but I came back for a strong 8th finish. That's one better than last time, so I'll take it. Alright, just gonna check the chat quickly while I can. Leonard, that's interesting. I actually found the R8 to be very, very stable at Spa, but that was with my team's setup, so maybe my setup still requires some work here. I think it definitely does. I definitely need to see how far I can lower the platform and how I can balance it front to rear. I think the rake factors in quite a lot in terms of aerodynamic balance at high speeds. It most certainly is Imola, Cuddler. And the new Ferrari is tail happy at the best of times indeed, Dave, I agree. The curbs do indeed kill this car as well. There's a lot going against this car at Imola. Yeah, I'd say the new update is worth the money. It's only about 12 Australian dollars. I mean, you still get all the physics updates even without the update. So all you get really is the bunch of new liveries, the new tyre model for 2020, and the 2 new cars. Yeah, and the track, obviously. You need Imola. But I think just Imola alone is probably worth 12 bucks. I mean, R Factor 2 just released Spa. That was about €8.99, which is more than that by itself. So, I mean, come on, it's good value. I'm going to try out the AMG in free practice while I let my hands cool down a little bit. Actually, check out my transition screen, guys, while I set this up, right? So I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'm just going to set this up, go to the bathroom, but I'll be back with you. But check this out. For those watching or just arrived, we'll be starting again in about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm just setting up the AMG at Imola. Alright guys, welcome back to me. Hope you're not too bored. Welcome Miko. I'm glad I can make your morning equally as boring but distracting. So what you guys were saying before, there was an interesting conversation about the price of DLCs, and I think someone that's really good at explaining that situation is Renee Butler from Butler Pal Motorsports, my esports team, and also the marketing dude behind rFactor 2. The thing is that the licensing and the development for the cars and the tracks is immense. Like the amount of detail they have to go to laser scan a track, to create the mesh, to create all the textures and all of this it's something that in the flight simulation scene you'd see charged significantly more for than you do in racing sims. But for some reason in racing simulation we expect everything to come to us for cheap. We expect like, you know, dozens of tracks and hundreds of cars all for like $20 or something. And it's not really feasible unless you're doing the kind of volume that Gran Turismo Sport are doing, that any kind of mainstream titles like Forza are doing. The problem with that is that the hardcore sims are going to far greater levels of actual detail than the consumer grade ones, but people still expect to pay less for them than they do for the consumer grade ones. So it doesn't really add up. I think we need to maybe recalibrate our expectations. The more that we pump into this industry, the more that we're going to get out. The more that we give companies like Kunoz and Reza and Studio 397, the more they're going to be able to do with this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't particularly see these guys getting mega ultra rich off working on niche hardcore simulation. It's probably why ISI gave up on rFactor. It's probably why many of these sim developers just, you know, shut up shop, or they adopt iRacing's, you know, slightly more toxic subscription model. Now, we're here in the new 2020 AMG Evo that I'm trying out for the very first time, and a very cloudy Imola early in the morning. I was hoping I could get it with the sun breaking out over the hills, but it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe I should have done 5 AM as opposed to 6 or whatever it is. I agree, Sergeant. ACC with a physical time model would be amazing, but you got to remember that everything is about what you put in. You can't just put in a physical model and expect it to be amazing. I mean, AMS2 has a physical model and it's basically the bouncy castle simulator right now. So it's about the refinement and the tweaks that have been done to rFactor's time model that make it so amazing. Yet it still needs more. It needs many more. Anybody that's driven it with the aliens at the limit will know that everybody's just drifting everywhere to get max speeds, so everything comes with its own caveats. Go hard with very, very cold tires straight out of the pits. Let's see how we go.
Stay clear of the curbs.
Let's make sure we got the right things focused. Cool. I might try some headlights. Yeah, that'll do it. Right. Feels a little stuttery at the moment, I've got to say. I don't know what's going on. Give me a sec, guys. Whoa, that is terrible. What's going on? What is going on? Alright, let's hope for the best. Whoa. I think ACC and OBS don't like one another here. Seems a bit better. Welcome, Darius. Alright, we'll just go with this. So, first time driving the new AMG at Imola. Man, it's very bouncy off the pit limiter. That's great. That's awesome. Oh man, that's great. Alright, I haven't tweaked the tire pressures. The setup is the default aggressive. It feels like what you'd expect so far. And man, it's just, the moment I get here, it just slows down. Oh man. Just mega slowdown for some reason. I think that's the sign that I need that new PC, right? Maybe to lower every graphics setting in the game. I'm gonna blame the sunrise for it. It's casting too many long shadows and my computer can't render. Oh, look at that. God rays. R-Factor, eat your heart out, bro. Alright, the moment of truth. Whoa. Oh man, it's so much more gentle through there than the Ferrari. It just kind of casually slides on through. Oh guys, I got peak God rays for you. How good is that? Oh wow. It just goes over the curbs, doesn't even care. Hey James, how you doing? It feels very different to the Ferrari. I'm gonna have to just feel this out a bit, I think. The tires are extremely cold still. I think they need in the range of about 2 PSI extra. Yeah, my computer really doesn't like this complex here. It just slows down whenever I get here. Oh man, understeery. Understeery. Woo! Oh man, it's so running so slowly. That ACC performance, right? That's one of the things I was afraid of, and one of the reasons I'm actually doing this test stream right now is to see how much performance I can get out of ACC while we stream. It looks like not enough. So I'm gonna need that new system, gonna need that 3080, and then we should be in business. But man, those God rays make it all worthwhile. The car feels like a slightly, oh man, slightly unbalanced aerodynamic platform, I have to say. It needs a few tweaks and it needs more tire pressure. So I'm gonna try going up 1.5 on each tire. Wow, that rake is insane. Look at that. 77 in the rear and 48 in the front. Damn. Wow. Didn't realize you could adjust the splitter. That's awesome. Yeah, it's Elk. I don't really know. I mean, Unreal Engine 4 is capable of looking amazing, and with some titles, it's capable of looking really good. Running really well, like Deep Rock Galactic. Kartcraft. Kartcraft looks amazing and runs better than ACC, even in VR, so I think it isn't Unreal Engine's fault per se, it's just the way things have been done in this engine. I agree, James. I think AMS2 hits that perfect balance of really good looks, really smooth performance, and just astounding immersion. If you actually look closely and you compare their models to even R-Factor, you'll see there's less detail, but they cover it up so well with the little things like a good implementation of AA, just nice graphical filters and shading that you can't really tell, and it doesn't really matter all that much. It always looks phenomenal in screenshots. Alright, I'm not going to sit here basically motecking the dampers, even though the car seems like it needs a bit of a aerodynamic readjustment. We're just going to go and drive it at aggressive. I'm going to try and get the tyres up to temp, and once we get there, we'll try it against the AI and see how it compares against the 488. Now my guess is I'll always prefer the 488 because it's my thing, but the AMG, I'm going to have to get into the habit of literally just going over curbs. See you, Sergeant. Thanks for dropping by. Alright, out lap to warm the tyres and getting that massive slowdown here again. Oh man, so much slowdown. Wow. I think Imola just doesn't like this time of day. Oh my god. It's funny, it slows down so much that I can feel the input lag on the wheel. And then as soon as you look down this way, it's fine again. Ironically, just as the game starts to look majestic and angelic. Oh, look at that. Maximum God Ray action. Can't see the apex at all. Woo! Wonder how that sign got there. Alright. Oh wow. Just right over the sausages. That's great. Ah, that's what you want, right? You pretty much gain half a second right there. Oh man. Braking performance isn't quite what I'd expect. Tires are slowly getting there. The race livery I'm using, I forget which my external camera button is. God, it slows down so much for this complex here. I'm guessing that's probably translating to the stream as well, because it's like a slideshow for me. The car it feels a lot more unsteady than the Ferrari, but in a way it can handle it, almost like it's made to have softer suspension. Yeah, it can pretty much go straight over the anti-cut. It doesn't like first gear there though, you've got to stay in second. Oh man, I'm blind. Can't see a thing. That's great. Straight over, right over the sausage. That's a novel line. That's a novel line that you can't do in the Ferrari. I think I'm definitely going to be slower in this thing, but I'm probably going to have an easier time of most of the track. It's more controllable at lower speeds. When it wants to slide out, you can just catch it. Ferrari just wants to go on you. I'm curious how mediocre my time will be. Quite mediocre. It definitely needs some adjustments, and I need some adjustments learning to how to drive it. Alright, the time would definitely be gained from just munching all the curbs. That's not bad. If it's in the 143s, it might be salvageable. But not with that slideshow frame rate. This is definitely, I would say, the more newbie-friendly car, guys. The Ferrari's not for the faint of heart. It never has been. Apparently that's disqualified my lap time, but whatever. Alright, let's go over the sausages, let's go. I mean, if the stock aggressive setup could get me into the 142s, I'd be pretty happy, but I don't think, at least with my limited skill, it can. Got a brake earlier there. Ferrari's a bit better on the brakes. Also, this one tends to understeer a little bit, so I think I need to make a small adjustment for that. Alright, so we need about 0.2 psi on the left side. Now the question is, do we give it more camber so it's more rotatey? I think ever so slightly. Bit more rear toe for some extra stability, because I did feel it really wanting to pivot around. And in terms of all of this, I'm thinking either 1 point rear bar or, oh my, that suspension setup is insane. It's so soft. It just doesn't make any sense. Jeez. Maybe? I've never really tuned the AMG. I've never really dealt with a car where I could tune the splitter in GT3, so this is definitely something I'd have to delve into a little bit more in detail. I think, as always, you can probably gain an extra second or two or second and a half per lap if you get the setup right. But if we can get it close to the 142s, I think that'll be drivable in a race. So let's try it one more time, one more free practice, and then we'll go for the actual AI race again. I would entirely believe that the fast guys are doing 140 at Imola. It's a track I've not driven very much at all in my life. These are two new cars I haven't entirely tuned, and of course, it's one that I don't have my lines down on completely, so I would 100% expect them to be doing in the range of about 2 seconds a lap quicker. That makes complete sense to me. I've got to say, the slowdowns definitely aren't helping. It feels like a complete slideshow every time I go down here. It's one, yeah, I've overshot it again. So it's one we really got to get the stability down for this corner complex. I think when you get the setup right and you feel confident in what the car's doing, you can just blast through that and gain close to a second. I can feel every time I drive it that that's where I lose a lot of time. Not to mention everywhere else, but you know, that place especially. Yeah, I think a different time of day might be in order for the frame rate. Might have to go for the classic, you know, 12 o'clock flat, no shadows thing. ACC really doesn't seem to like this time of day in terms of performance. Alright, get those tyres up to temp. But yeah, on the whole, talking about the track and the car, I would say this is definitely the easier one to start with at Imola. By far. The Ferrari's more my speed, it's more just pivoty, it's more agile, whereas this thing's just like a curb muncher. It's like the Camaro of the GT3s. Less drifting, Omen, more driving. My god, the slowdowns there are immense. Doing that corner blind is such a great challenge. Wow, okay. So that's the potential line for this car. Just straight over. Alright, gonna brake a little earlier here than usual. Still doesn't really want to turn into those low speed corners. So there's definitely an adjustment left to do. I think probably a sway bar at that point would be my guess. So I might do that. Might very quickly do that. And save it and go up against the AI at a different time of day. Always feels like such an inelegant solution doing the sway bar. I feel like there's always better ways to do things, like softening the dampers at the front, letting the car turn in more, changing the range of the bump stops so the car rotates in more. You know, it always feels like there should be a better way of doing this than how I'm doing it. Alright, that should be about it. Now I think this car chews through a little bit more petrol than the Ferrari did. So I'm going to put in a little bit more. Since I'm going to be slow anyway, I don't care about min-maxing the fuel load. So we're just here to try out the car and the AI against the AMG, so this will be interesting. Cool, I just had the great idea of actually putting the chat somewhere that isn't obscured by the handbrake where I can actually read it. Hey, Bip Jazz. Brake bias could be a thing. I mean, everything could be a thing. The default aggressive setups are just a vague starting point. There's a lot of things that need to be, you know, min-maxed more. Starting with the car fresh and just going from aggressive, you only really get so far. But yeah, if the car is unstable and the brake bias is usually a great place to start. Definitely ride height on this one. I've never seen that level of rake in a car before with the setup, so that's very interesting. I don't know if it's, you know, technically correct or it's just an AMG thing, but definitely there's some min-maxing left to do on the ride height in this one. It just feels a little floppy, kind of like the Camaro, just like it's not really planted on the ground. Okay, let's do it.
Stay in double file.
Thanks. It's not exactly a high-stakes race. We're just racing against some AI for fun. Try out the AI, try out the AMG, see what it's like. So far, I can say undoubtedly this is one of the best versions of Imola you're likely to see in sim racing. It's very, very fun. I'm about 3 seconds off pace at my very, very best, so, you know, keep that in mind as we go into this, especially with the AMG being untuned. Let's just have some fun against these mid-ranged, rather mid-engine monsters in front of me here. Come on, come on, go, 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 go.
Green light, give it all you can.
Will I get sandwiched again? That's the real question.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. You've got light damage.
So, one of the things that we encountered before is that if you get ahead of the AI under certain conditions, they'll tend to just pit maneuver you as if you're not there, and that's what we had there. So I'm going to take it easy, I'm going to restart again, and no overtakes on the first lap, I guess. We're just going to follow the train and hope for the best. But I actually have a gag reel of the amount of times the AI has done this to me in ACC. It's quite something. It's like its signature move. Alright, more cautious this time. Let's do it. Give him all the space. I don't care so much about getting the run off the line anymore. We're not going to do much with it. Let's hope for the best.
Green light, show them where you go.
Just follow the train. Follow the choo-choo train.
Car on the right.
Oh my god. The lap 1 AI is a very interesting experience, I have to say.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
The ability to chew the curbs essentially gives you more overtaking opportunities at Imola against the AI. Car's definitely not pivoting around the slow speed corners as fast as the Ferrari though. So it definitely needs a bit of an adjustment for that. It's a bit understeery under some circumstances, under others it's oversteery. Alright, nice and easy through here. Nice and easy. Feels good though, guys. Feels very gentle. It's kind of like an elegant gentleman's Batmobile. Definitely a lot more straightforward, a bit more vanilla in its handling character. It's the one I'd definitely start someone that's newer to sim racing on. Alright, let's try and get the run so that we can go over the curb. Much easier to get the run.
Car on the right.
Just trying to work out
Clear on the right.
what my... Oh, cool. Got what I mapped look right to.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Looks like he let us have that one. So far, so good. I may even place better than with the Ferrari just because the car is so much more straightforward to drive, right? God, it just goes over the anti-cut, just doesn't care. Oh, yes, cut me off, it's good. They do occasionally do defensive lines now as well, it's awesome. Definitely a bit of understeer in those mid-speed corners. I'm loving it, loving it. So much more genteel. No, don't want to overtake. Do not want to overtake.
Clear on the left.
I've got to remember it's not the Ferrari on the brakes. It's having a bit more trouble slowing down. I may be over slamming the brake, maybe hinging on the ABS too much. I've got to just take it easy. Maybe it's slightly heavier, I don't know. The fact that you can get the exit there is so helpful because you can just go over the anti-cut. Doesn't care quite so much as the Ferrari.
Well done, mate. Corsa steps up forward.
It's a lot quicker on the straights, I can tell you that as a
Car
fact.
on the right. Clear on the right.
So you can actually make moves in this car as opposed to the Ferrari. You can actually get the exits. Time of day seems to have fixed our frame rate issues as well, which is awesome. So, no more sunrise and sunset in ACC for me, I think. As nice as the God rays did look. Had to force the car into a bit of a drift there to complete the corner. Alright, tried in fourth this time. It can be done, I think? Yeah. Yeah, it can. Whoop. It's alright. What's the track limit?
For exceeding track limits.
Nah, don't even worry about it, bro. Too much sausage munching, methinks. I can see how adjusting to this car and getting the right Motec setup would probably let you get quicker times in the Ferrari. I mean, it's so much easier to overtake on the back straight here.
Fastest lap of the race, man. Good job.
Yeah. I mean, it's a slow lap, don't get me wrong, but
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
you can just go over those. It's great. Helps you overtake so much. Whoa. It does want to slip out occasionally, though. It's definitely far easier to string that complex together in this car. Gonna experiment with slightly higher TC on the flight. See how we go. Yes, my tires are over pressured. I just noticed that actually. It's because I changed the time of day and didn't account for it. So, you know. We were driving at 6 a.m. before. I'm still having a better go of the AI than I was with the 488 though. How funny is that? So the tires for this race probably need to go down by about 0.6 at least. That's alright guys, we'll just drift everywhere. Don't stress. It's all part of the fun. Honestly, given that the tires are overinflated, the car's handling quite well. So, props to AMG, I guess.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Halfway. Oh man, my tires. They're gonna be balloons by the end of this. It keeps going higher and higher. Oh no. This is good, you get to see the AMG with a handicap. I'm gonna say guys, it's pretty good. I mean, it's, considering everything working against it right now, this car's, it's a solid platform. It's got an amateur driver, overinflated tires, and a not so ideal damper setup. It's still doing okay. Wait, that wasn't track limits? Wow! Imola, you're a strange beast, aren't you? Alright, we seem to have like plateaued at about the 28.5 range, guys. So I can probably drop about a whole PSI out of these. Can we eat the... Oh, can't directly eat it. If you hit it with the chassis, you're gonna have a bad time. Had to try it though, guys. We're definitely starting to feel like a Mount Akuma drift style setup here. Starting to feel more like an S14 and less like an AMG. Alright, so talk more about our plans. Over the next, I think, week or two, what you're going to be seeing a lot more of is me practicing an R-Factor for the Spa 3-hour invitational event. So there's going to be a lot less ACC on the channel. And you'll be seeing me do a couple of online sessions with my teammates, William from Sim Racing Paddock. That's going to be super cool. I'm very excited. There's going to be a lot more Spa, a lot less similar. And a lot more Ferrari, for better or worse, because we're in the GTE, so I'm going to have to practice and get the setup down for that. Or just improve my consistency overall, I guess. Alright, come on, overinflated tires. Let's get into the 142s together. Oh man. I'm just skidding across that surface, it's awesome. It's good fun, I've got to say. I was afraid it'd be frustrating, but it's kind of just exciting. Oh man, oh man. Exciting is one word for it. I can see the podium. I can see the podium, guys, right there in front of me. I just want to get on the podium with my overinflated balloon tires. No, I'm not in slipstream range.
Gaining on the car in sector 1.
But I'm losing it in sector 3, man. Just pretend the curbs don't exist. That's actually really cool. I remember grabbing that inside curb there in AC would just spin the car out instantly. So the way that the time model handles curbing is so much better than even a few years ago for Kunos. Props to them for that. I might downshift ahead of time here. Dear God. It's still okay. No. I gotta keep up with my slipstream, guys. It's the only chance I have, that final straight. Come back. Come back, I say. Just flash him a bit, freak him out.
Okay, the leader's on the final lap now. Give it
He
to
might be a
him.
bronze driver. We'll do it again. Oh man, that was the chance. There it goes. Now I've got to just munch curbs and hope for the best. Shall I dive? Nah. That would have gone terribly. I'm definitely losing time around the slow speed corners. The car's just not pivoting enough. There's definitely adjustments to be done. I don't know if it's a damper thing or if it's a sway bar thing. My guess it's probably to do with the bump stops and the ride height. So close, yet so far from that podium, guys. It's a boat lead too. What an insult. Oh man, my line through there was atrocious. Come back. I'm at least 300 kilos lighter than you. Now I just need to act like it. No! Come on!
Leader has finished the race.
Ah, fuck.
P3, we're on the podium. Excellent job, mate. Well managed all the way through.
Wait, come again? How was I on the podium? I thought I was 4th place. Oh man. Woo! Yes! Ugh. Okay, that was the escape key, guys. It was meant to do something. Apparently it doesn't. Cool. We'll just go with it. Glad you guys enjoyed the entertainment. Okay, so summary of everything that's happened here on these 2 videos. I came in with a pre-done setup for the Ferrari, which allowed me to be about a second, maybe, well, yesterday it allowed me to be about a second and a half quicker than I was here today. Ferrari's quite pivoty and finicky, doesn't like the curbs so much. You really have to give it a good tune. You got to really know what you're doing when you drive it, which I don't. AMG, on the other hand, is a lot easier, way more newbie friendly, just super easy going. A little bit kind of swayy, soft suspension, kind of pivoty. Maybe the ride height needs adjustment. Maybe the bump stops. It's definitely one I would put the team onto, guys that are far better at setups than I am, and then drive it again. But I think the AMG is one that I would really enjoy through Imola. It's probably would be my pick at Imola. The Ferrari is very, very finicky. All you have to do is go over one anti-cut the wrong way, and that's pretty much the end. Imola, one of the best versions in all of sim racing. Absolutely love it. Super... What do you say? I mean, just feels really accurate. You get really, really good granular track detail. The ripple strips are very similar to what you get from Reese's version, the one that's in R-Factor and AMS2. But that being said, I think that about concludes it for this stream. I need to get back and actually have some breakfast and, you know, enjoy life a little bit more. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. The next couple of videos and streams are going to be me practicing at Spa for the 3-hour semi-endurance event coming up in R-Factor 2 with my friend William from Sim Racing Paddock. That's going to be super fun. And yeah, that'll about be the bulk of it. I might have 1 or 2 scripted videos coming up, but they're not really doing so well these days. Like, people tend to prefer the streams for whatever reason, so I guess we're going to become a little bit more streaming centric, hence a new overlay and all that fun stuff. So thank you guys for joining me for the, for this little test, this little stress test of the streaming setup, the new overlays, the new microphone stuff that I was running. So I hope we managed to add a little bit more amusement to your day. And I hope you guys enjoy the final sign-off screen here. So I hope to see you next time as well. So if you're not a member already, please hit the sub. You're more likely to see the content when it does come up. And I'll see you guys next time.
Silence there.